Well, if your child is killed by someone like a drunk driver, you can sue for damages under wrongful death lawsuits. But not if that child is over the age of 18 and they don't have their own family. But that is changing this summer thanks to some parents who are feeling proud tonight.
I was told basically that his life had no value.
Spencer Sear died from suicide after being discharged from a mental hospital.
There is no justice, yes. It was almost impossible to believe.
An impaired tour bus driver killed Jeff Shaw's daughter, Katie.
I just lost the entire family in just a matter of seconds.
Rhonda Ellis's son, daughter-in-law, and grandson were crushed by a piece of concrete. In each case, despite someone else's negligence, since the victims were either unmarried adults or since they didn't leave any dependents behind, no one could sue for their wrongful deaths.
The last words that I got to say to my daughter will never go away, ever.
Rhonda Nissen only learned about the law after her daughter Christina died from what was believed to be medical malpractice.
And then they tell me after she's dead, your child has no value in the state of Washington. That was wrong.
Today we're righting a wrong that would have made it impossible for their families to seek justice.
Those families and several others fought for nearly a decade to change the law. The Ride the Ducks crash in 2015 highlighted another loophole that has now been eliminated. The families of 5 students who were killed were not able to be part of any lawsuit because those students were not U.S. citizens.
I'm proud of the unfortunate legacy that our children have made to the state of Washington.
These parents hope allowing future lawsuits will make the state safer, as well as giving future grieving parents a chance to hold someone accountable.
Somebody else's mother hopefully won't have to live that, won't have to go through being told that their child has no value, that her life didn't mean anything, because it meant everything to me.
Lawmakers are also working late into the evening tonight and probably throughout the weekend. Sunday night is their deadline to finish the state's business and come out with a 2-year balanced budget. We just got some late-breaking details on that budget. Bear with me here as I run through a couple. There will be a new real estate tax imposed on any real estate sales over $1.5 million. And there will be some new business taxes facing banks and certain businesses, professional businesses like lawyers and attorneys. It sounds like talk of a capital gains tax appears to be dead. Live in Olympia, Drew Mikkelsen, King 5 News.